So we got some good news. And what would be better than getting paid? What would be better than getting a paycheck?
Getting free money?
Technically, yeah, sure. But getting more than one paycheck.
Okay, that too.
Which is good news for a lot of folks, as well as the nearing solution to this debt ceiling budget crisis, but also having seen something happening that we haven't seen for 16 years. Since 2007, the cash-strapped Treasury Department sells one-day bills for the first time. After the Treasury's cash balance hit a low $48.5 billion last week, the Treasury Department auctioned $15 billion in one-day cash management bills on Friday. And the Treasury Department auctioned this $15 billion in one-day cash management bills as the cash balance remained under pressure. This is the extreme circumstances, extraordinary measures that Janet Yellen was talking about taking to try to manage the debt. And the bills, which carry a 5.145% investment rate, will be issued on Monday and will mature on Tuesday. So just one day for full maturity. Bids totaling $61.6 billion were tendered. And this is the first time since 2007 that one-day bills were auctioned.
This is my face because I don't know what the hell one-day bills means.
It means that the Treasury was trying to. It was a cash round to have investors buy in.
Okay.
And then instead of having to wait years for maturity, they're going to see that maturity in a day, in just one day. The auction comes as the Senate passed a debt limit deal late last week, with President Biden expected to sign it. That will avert a default with just days to spare, as the Treasury Secretary Janet Yellen has said that the government was set to run out of cash on Monday without a deal. So they needed cash. They needed money.
Okay.
So similar to like Silicon Valley Bank, and they were trying to. They had like a capital round where they were trying to get more money. So they were like, "Hey guys, everything's fine. We had a lot of money leaving the bank, but we do need more cash in the bank." So it was a round to try to get investors to put their cash in. So the government was in a similar situation where this is liquidity, basically. So you may have assets, you may have wealth, you may have investments in other places, but if you can't convert them to cash, like let's just say you invest in growing your own food,
okay,
or growing a farm or homestead or something like that, right? But you have to pay a bill now. You can't. That's not liquid.
Okay.
Even though your outputs could be sold, they're not liquid. So you need cash.
So does that mean that the people that bought into this, the ones who said, "Here, take my money," and it matures in a day, do they then get that dividend back within that next 24 hours?
That question, which I'm sure there will be many others like it, are going to be answered later, because we don't have a lot of time. It is 10:45 almost, and we have to be out of here in just a few minutes. So your questions, great questions, will be answered and uploaded on Patreon. But the question really is what recourse does the average person have to dodge the bullet of potentially running out of cash and seeing their own debt limit budget crisis at home?
Okay.
Granted, you could go out and sell. You could auction off things and try to stimulate and drum up cash like the Treasury just did. But not everybody has that ability. But again, the great news is the only thing better than getting paid is getting paid twice, or even getting free money. But we see here that June is going to do just that. And June for this year, 2023, will issue double Social Security payments. And the SSA will send out double Social Security payments to certain beneficiaries in June. Each month, the Social Security Administration, the SSA, sends Social Security checks and makes payments for Supplemental Security Income, or SSI, in addition to distributing disability and survivor benefits. The SSA is preparing to send out June benefits, and certain beneficiaries will receive a double payment this month.
So they're talking about we're going to run out of Social Security money sooner than expected. And then they're like, hey, you know what? Shits and giggles, let's double up on payments in June, make it run out faster?
Yeah, so oftentimes you'll see these double payments and these headlines, and typically it gets the recipients all excited, only for them to then be let down by the truth, what's real, the facts. And that is that the Supplemental Security Income SSI recipients who will receive 2 payments in June along with other SSA beneficiaries is because this is just a feature of the distribution schedule, which leaves benefits reciting 2 checks some months followed by a month with no check.
Like on like February, how the 28th, it kind of gets all screwed up if you get paid on like the 1st, the 15th, the 31st or whatever, and then you have a 28th. So, okay, I get it.
So, you know, this could be looked at it from 2 different angles. Hey, great news, you're getting paid twice, 2 checks in June. Or bad news, no checks in July. Obviously, depending on who you are and how you read it, you're not going to like either one of them. But I'm just trying to bring you guys the truth and the facts and explain to you how this works and what to expect. But more so discussing how the average person, particularly and specifically those on fixed income receiving checks from the U.S. Treasury, the SSA, SSI, SSDI, Social Security, retirement, things like that, the option to initiate these extraordinary measures like the U.S. Treasury do not exist. So it's better to know what's happening, what's going on, what's about to happen, than to just be completely blind and pretty much at the mercy of the government and our economy. SSI payments are scheduled to be sent out on the first day of each month, but in case the first day of the month falls on a weekend, then the payment is sent ahead of the previous month. So to be specific, if the first day falls on a Saturday or Sunday, then the payment for the month is sent on the Friday before the previous month.
Makes sense.
This is a situation in June, which is why some will receive 2 checks in June. For SSI, the average Supplemental Security Income SSI payments are around $650. The maximum benefit is $914 a month for an individual and $1,371 a month for a married couple where both spouses are eligible for the program. Which, it's kind of like, well, it makes no sense to be married at that point.
Yeah.
I would rather be single.
Because you get paid more individually.
Yeah.
And then add it together, you're at, what, $1,800? I mean, you're getting screwed.
Over $1,800.
By being married as you get older, which is just
But sometimes
ridiculous.
when you're married, you want to get screwed, But June's SSI payment, this double Supplemental Security Income SSI payment in June will be issued on the first day of the month, and an additional payment will be sent out on June 30th, intended for July's payment. This second payment is scheduled for the last Friday of June, as the first day of July falls on a Saturday. As a result, SSI recipients can expect 2 payments in June, but none in July. This payment will continue in September and December of 2023, and we've actually seen this where someone was confused on a TikTok video about when they got paid. But what were you going to say?
I was going to say that the downside here is there are going to be people out there who don't fully understand, and they're going to be really mad when they don't get a payment in July, not taking into consideration that they got 2 in June, literally one day before July starts.
This girl on TikTok, she's like, I worked a week, where's my paycheck? And
didn't understand
it was like, you work 2 weeks, then you got to wait to the pay period to get paid. And this is sometimes a problem. So it's better to know and understand how these things work than to be upset, disgruntled, or possibly put yourself in a bind. I've even seen, there was a story of a woman, and she had, I think, $30 million deposited into her bank account by accident. And,
it's a fun accident. I would found a way to go missing immediately.
She kind of did the right thing and brought it to the attention of the bank, and they took it back. But, if you think that you just got free money, extra money, but really and truly you just got your regular money just ahead of schedule, you don't want to blow it. You don't want to waste it. If you're under these circumstances, you get double supplemental security income because of an irregularity in the payment schedule, which could result in a citizen getting a double supplement security SSI check in June.
Can you go back to that one? I just want to say what's interesting here is go forward. The title of this article that he has right here, it says, if you are under these circumstances, you get doubled supplemental security income. If you are under these circumstances, which makes it sound like something that you have control over, that has something to do with you, and it's literally the calendar. It is literally the calendar.
Yeah, look, I could have spun this a million different ways.
But that's their title, and I need y'all to understand this. The news outlets, media, government, they do these things, and then people get mad at that. If you are under these circumstances, you get doubled supplemental security income.
Yeah, and it manipulates those who really need the money.
Yeah.
Really, really need the money.
But the point is, it gets everybody to click on it to find out if they are under those circumstances. And the truth is, 100% of the people will be under those circumstances.
Yeah, for sure. But it gets them to click on it with this false hope and this false pretense.
That too.
That isn't necessarily true. It's just a way of manipulating and spinning the information in the title for clicks. Now, it says that these situations can result in a double supplemental security income payment in some months, and this can be great news for retirees who collect this check. Since this benefit is for the beneficiaries who need it most, having the check early can be very welcome news among them. Now that summer's getting closer and many Americans want to plan their vacations, receiving supplemental security income early can be a great relief. While it is true that the final amount of money will be the same, being able to receive it earlier means that they can better organize. Look, I don't agree with this like really much at all. It's not really great news. It's just news. The benefit coming early, all right, maybe it can get you caught up and back on track with maybe some payments that you need to make, but it's not really putting any more money in your pocket because it says the amount will be the same. Like when they say the amount will be the same, the check amount will be the same, the annual amount will be the same, and despite any increases or stage proposals for cost of living adjustments and John Larson and what he's talking about, you're not really getting ahead. And to say that this is going to help
like
those
vacations and stuff,
with
all it's gonna do is blow
vacations,
through your money faster.
no, not at
and
all.
then you get nothing in July.
Yeah, not at all. Like that is completely bullshit. And it's just an opportunity to leverage vacations as a keyword and get more reach. But even here in Florida, we've noticed that the vacation tourist traffic volume has been extremely light, and we actually I put up a video yesterday walking the beach, talking about the housing market, talking about real estate, talking about investing in crypto, Twitter, Facebook, making money online, different things like that.
Really good video.
But
pretty.
Yeah, it was really cool. Got some drone shots. But I think for the most part, the tourism is on the beach. And they are, a friend of ours, he drives Uber, and he says that people are not tipping. People are getting, dropped off at less expensive hotels and vacation condo options. They're going to Walmart and they're buying cheap foods, hot dogs and things like that, and cramming more people into the spaces just to get the vacation and the beach and the sun and the sand and the waves, but they're not trying to spend more money. So how they chose to word that's how they chose to word it. I don't necessarily agree with it, but I did want to let you guys know that there will be 2 checks in June, but there won't be any checks in July.
Yep.
And I do stick to my original statement of the good news is that, if you can get more than one check, or if you can get free money, but really and truly free money, that doesn't really exist. So, there's
because even the lottery isn't free. You still had to go spend money to play it.
Yes. So even Ty Lopez, he said this on one of his videos. He goes, there's no money in easy. There's no money in easy. So nothing gets easier than free. So there's no money there. And even if you think you're getting free money, you're going to repay that more than you ever could imagine.
There's always fine print somewhere.
In the long run. And talking about getting paid more than once is what a lot of people have been asking about here more and more recently, as there have been drastic changes in the economy and discretionary spending and in household budgets. And a bank rate survey shows that 39% of adults have a side hustle. 39% of adults have a side hustle. So that just is like confirmation that they are real and they work. So maybe y'all should consider them if you want some additional income. And 44% believe that they'll always need one.
That's interesting. 44% believe they'll always need one, but only 39% of them have them. Or are they saying
I think it's 44% of the 39.
Okay.
So from delivering takeout and walking dogs to building a new business and consulting, Americans are working hard outside their full-time job, and nearly 2 in 5, or 39% of U.S. adults, have a side hustle, according to a new bank rate survey. Side hustles are a way for people to earn extra money aside from their regular income, and for many Americans, side hustle income isn't for fun money. It's not for fun money.
Generally speaking, the side hustle is the bill money, help to pay those extra bills. Amid
inflation and the increasing likelihood of an economic downturn, people need their side income to pay their everyday bills. 1 in 3, 33% of U.S. adults with a side hustle say that they need the money for regular living expenses far more than those who use it for discretionary spending, which is 27%. Side hustles, according to Ted Rossman, Bankrate senior industry analyst, have become more common. But like so many things in this inflationary environment, people are working harder, but not necessarily getting ahead. Side hustlers are much more likely to view this extra income as essential rather than a passion project or a way to get ahead financially. So if I'm going to receive 2 checks, I don't want to receive my June check and my July check. I want to receive my June check, my July check, and my side hustle check. You see what I'm saying? I
was just thinking that the people who need that side hustle money the most are these older married couples on SSI, because they're the ones who are making the least as a couple.
Well, SSI...
You can only
SSI and SSDI is going to get a little complicated.
Yeah.
But Social Security retirement is a different story.
Okay.
Now, SSI and SSDI, again, we are limited on time here, and this is something that we will cover on Patreon for sure. But it comes down to how much money do you really need? How much money do you really want to make? Because SSI and SSDI put people in this limiting belief box, backed into a corner, painted into this, rock between a rock and a hard place, right? Behind the 8 ball, where, the average, I'll pull it up, payout was $650 for SSI. The max $914 for an individual, max $1374 for married. So it's like, all right, the max is $914, but on average you're getting $650 a month. Well, what can I do to make $700 a month? What can I do to make $800 a month? What can I do to make $1,000 a month? Because after $1,000 a month, you're getting more than SSI could ever pay you. So it puts people in these situations of thinking, well, I don't want to lose that, and I'm thinking, well, I don't want to make that.
Yeah.
But to each their own. I understand people are going to say that they can't. I get it. That's your choice, or not. Maybe it's not your choice. As far as what you believe. I'm not here to judge. I'm not here to tell you what to do. I'm just here to tell you, what's going on, what's happening. and we're going to share our own personal experiences on Patreon for those who are interested. Now, it says that Americans make an average of $810 a month from their side hustle, and it's possible to bring in hundreds of dollars a month through a side gig. The average person with a side hustle makes $810 a month from the extra work, according to Bankrate. So the average side hustle makes more money than the average person makes on SSI. Just saying.
Yeah.
Just saying. Bankrate did the survey. Most commonly, however, those with a side hustle make very little. 28% of people with a side hustle only make between $1 and $50 a month.
Now, we have a friend who has a side hustle. He 1 day a week, he works a couple hours and brings in about $1,500 a month. That's a good side hustle, and that's money that he's stacking to save.
Oh, shoot, yeah. I was like, who are you talking about?
You know what I'm talking about. That's money he's stacking to save for
Right.
a future car, a future house, something like that. He's a little bit younger.
All right, not only that, but he's got a job, he's got a side hustle, and he's going to get another job.
Yeah.
Like, it's like, look, single, young, it's like, man, that drive is amazing.
I worked 3 jobs in the beginning.
And I need to ask him where he got that from.
Yeah.
Because, he's all on his own. So
Yeah.
it's like,
Who's pushing him besides himself?
Yeah.
That's very true.
So, interestingly enough, CNBC's Make It says that there's a 31-year-old who makes $105 a month.
105,000.
I'm sorry. She makes
That's a big difference.
She makes
105,
$105,000 a month in passive income from her side hustle. And she only works 2 hours a day. So, she works 2 hours a day on the side hustle, but ultimately it then keeps paying her to produce the passive income. Because there is some form of active work being done here. But if you can work 2 hours a day, and then the other 22 hours a day you keep making money, that's passive. Because, if you work 8 hours, 10 hours, 12 hours a day at a job, as soon as you're done working, you're done making money.
Yep.
So what I really like about this story is this right here. And it says that in 2021, she says that she was working as a resource manager at Amazon and was making $124,000 a year. And to bring in additional income, she had a side hustle creating personal financial content. Now, it's not the personal financial content that is exciting me. It's the fact that she was making $124,000 a year and said,
I want more.
I can do more.
Yeah.
It says that one day she posted a YouTube video sharing how she went from a credit score of 495 to 820 simply by disputing inaccurate information on her credit report, which you've talked about.
We can do a whole video on that because I went from 525 to 8. I think it got up to it's 830.
So at the time, she was making videos and just ways to bring in $1,000 a month to help pay for childcare expenses. But 6 months later, a video went viral, and in May of 2022, she was earning enough to quit working at Amazon to work on her side hustle full time. And her husband left his software engineering job to help start making that content.
Now, I would like to point this out. Once she left the main job, this is no longer a side hustle. This is now her main job.
You're right.
It started as a side hustle that overtook the main, and so now she only has one main job, no side hustle.
But it's not just about labeling, it's about the income.
Yeah.
And if this, essentially, you got to think, she was making 124. This had to make more than 124.
Yeah.
So
Amazon became her side hustle.
Probably like way more than 124,000.
105 a month is definitely way more than she was making monthly.
Right. So from December of 2022 to March of 2023, she said that she earned an average of $105,000 a month in passive income, mostly from digital product sales and YouTube ad revenue. So that's that diversity I was telling you guys about, specifically for the creators out there who are looking to monetize without monetization, the traditional form of monetization. And this digital product sales is that diverse option of bringing in extra revenue. Now, we've seen in the past that some people, they tend to lock onto a phrase and terminology, for instance, clickbait, and they use it as a negative connotation just to describe a title and thumbnail that every video has to have. And that can also be misrepresented in the terminology used for passive income and side hustles, because they're not necessarily always going to be the same, but they all produce. If you do it right, they'll produce substantial money and income and revenue. And the digital product sales is huge. And but then looking at the term of monetization doesn't always have to mean 1,000 subscribers and 4,000 watch hours or 10 million shorts views in 90 days. It's just a means of taking content and making it make money.
Yeah.
And we will have a special guest here in 2 days, and we will talk more about that from his experience on YouTube, being monetized, as well as monetizing his content through real estate, and also talking about working together as a team. I help you with certain videos and different things like that. We have another channel that we're growing and building, but at the same time, I was thinking about today, we've had probably 8 monetized channels at least.
Yeah.
At least. So they all become an additional stream, a passive stream, and allow us to have more fun doing what we enjoy, especially when the market changes. The market's always going to be right. And the market, I look at YouTube, I treat YouTube like a business, and the YouTube business market is making some very, very strong indications as to what it wants and what it's going to support and who it's going to ultimately pay and drive business to.
Yep.
If that makes sense. But she says that the best part is that she only has to work 2 hours a day. But I got another one here, and it says that retirees are earning up to $20,000 per month with one fully remote side hustle. Again, nothing better than getting paid, but nothing better than getting paid more than once, which is why we are also making a new channel, because it's just another opportunity for another income stream. So if you guys want to check it out, it's completely different from this channel, from all the other channels. But if you like us, if you like Florida, if you like travel, if you like great views, if you like drone footage, if you like
reviews of foods and places,
if you
and
like
stuff like that,
real conversations, check out Squirrel Tribe Life, and more of a behind the scenes look on Patreon for topics that we can't cover on here, we won't cover on
thanks
here.
to this new algorithm.
And also, if you want a deep dive on building wealth, passive income, side hustles, and utilizing the same tools that we use on a regular basis to diversify your income. And last but not least, we got 5 side gigs to avoid at all costs. So, everybody's going to quite possibly, if you ask, what's the typical side hustle, they're going to gravitate towards one in particular, probably being Uber, ride share, Walmart Spark, or something like that. So, but there are so many side hustle, side gig opportunities out there. But according to this Yahoo Finance Go Banking Rates blog post here, there's 5 you should avoid at all costs. Now, I'm going to run through this real quick because we got to go.
Can I tell them what my first one was?
We got to go because we got an open house we're going to go to, which I will be recording and showing you guys that open house. So stay tuned for that. But what was your first one?
My very first one was prostitution. Don't do that.
Yes.
Probably a very bad side hustle. Not a good idea. Jail time and doctor visits needed, I'm sure.
There's no healthcare benefits on that one.
No.
So it says that 5 side gigs to avoid at all costs. The number one, or not number one, the first one is online surveys. Okay, we're not going to deep dive. We're just going to run through this real quick. Food delivery, which I mentioned Uber. That would include Uber Eats, Grubhub, Postmates, DoorDash, whatever. MLM companies. If you don't know what MLM companies are, drop a comment and hit me up on Patreon. If you don't know what MLM companies are, you need to, because if you're going out there to start a side hustle and it's an MLM, you're going to want to know that. But if you don't know what MLM is, then you're already you're already stepping into the batter's box with 2 strikes. Content mills and photography. So yeah, we're going to dive into that. We're going to dive into more of the U.S. Treasury and their bond auction. We're going to dive into so many more topics, as well as opportunities for you guys to make money on social media. There's links in the description down below, 100% free. But check us out. Give this video a like, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Thanks for joining me on this one.
You're welcome.
And we'll see you guys real soon.
Bye.